Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be here for a very brief period of time, then we're going to switch over to another part of the video. But obviously, the news coming out that Scottish football is aiming to return on August the 1st, with first team training starting back on June the 11th. It's massive news. That's a real big step forward to Scottish football actually returning, to the point where probably there won't be fans in stadiums, but we'll at least have something for our team, something for our game to watch on to. I got the chance to sit down today with David from Talk Scottish Football and talk to, long time football pundit and host of the BBC Off the Ball. You might know him, Tam Cowan, a big name. He's a hilarious guy, a brilliant guy, and it was a pleasure to speak to. The podcast that we recorded today will be fully available over on the Talk Scottish Football channel, but in today's video we briefly touch on my channel. I'm going to use a clip to encourage you all to go over, just do it, please. A lot of effort has gone in over that channel right now. But we sat down and we spoke about the prospect of Scottish football returning. Of course, we've not get our hopes up. This is a target date. It's not confirmed. It's not definite. We're not getting football back as a certainty. It is the target date if the Scottish Government's plans line up with the progress in all aspects of life, not just football, but general health of the common people and the public. So, there's still a lot to do, a lot of big steps to take, but it is a real step forward. And Tam, who was hilarious in saying so, told us about how much he loves Scottish football and how much he's looking forward to it returning. Despite there being football on, he talks about how it only matters about Scottish football. So, I'm going to roll the clip. If you do enjoy, please go over, check out the channel, leave a subscribe, check out the Spotify, everything links in the description below. And if you want me to do my own video discussing the return of football potentially in a couple of months, let me know and we can do that over the week. Football Manager as well. Yes, there's so many people asking for it. It will be back. And enjoy.
I'll tell you what Scottish football means to me. As I sit here just now, I've completely blanked the Bundesliga. I'm proud that I have not watched a single nanosecond of that guff. Folk have got their trumpets out heralding the fact that the English Premier League starts back on Wednesday, June the 17th. I can safely say I will completely blank it. Cannot stand the overrated English top flight. But if, as has been reported, although our good pal Professor Jason Leach doesn't think it's going to happen, but if Scottish football started back in August the 1st, and the only game it was starting back with that day was Brechin City against Annan Athletic, I would be all over it like a rash. And I would have a box of man-sized tissues at the side, because that would be football porn, in my opinion. So, Scottish football all the way. Any European stuff, I've said this numerous times, it's an off-the-ball trope. I'm only interested in European football when there's a Scottish team taking part. When there's no Scottish interest, there is no interest from me. And that includes Champions League finals. That includes everybody slavering about Barcelona and Lionel Messi. Yeah, they know how to play football. Yeah, he's a genius, but I can only take him now in small doses. Give me Lionel Ainsworth ahead of Lionel Messi any day of the week.
Fantastic. That couldn't be any more different from our last guest, Derek.
I know, of course, it was so night and day there. One podcast heavily Bundesliga orientated and then bang. But
Derek, and I know Derek, we've had him in the show and stuff, and Derek's one of these guys who, as a kid, I'm sure Derek is one of these who was recording kind of imaginary commentaries into his tape recorder. And I think Derek might even have sent some of them to the late great Bob Crampsey when he was a boy, and that Bob was really helpful to Derek and gave him a wee foot up. So Derek is your sort of guy who, you wouldn't fancy your chances in a Scottish, English, German world football quiz against Derek. Derek would be your man. But frankly, that's not me. Scottish football, and I think what it is as well, guys, because I've always tried to make anything I say or anything I've written about Scottish football as light-hearted as possible, I need to know the minutiae of Scottish football. I need to know about the dinner lady at Alloa who's getting pumped by the reserve goalkeeper. Rather than who's won La Liga. I couldn't give a shit. It's the stuff that you can get a laugh with that will always interest me. So because of that, I have I have definitely, there is no doubt about that I have switched off with football out with Scotland to focus on our own game and everything it involves.
Superb. I mean, we've been told not to get our hopes up, but you must be like buzzing at the prospect in August first return, just even so slightly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the only thing that I keep saying the old line that Jock Stein came out with years ago that there's no football without fans. I tend to agree with that. The thought of Motherwell back in action, playing closed doors, and me watching the game on a laptop, or if we're lucky and that one's picked for the telly, watching it sitting in the living room. Yeah, I'll watch it. Of course, I'll watch it. It's my team. It's Scottish football, as I say. But I'm just really waiting on that vaccine and waiting on the day when we can get back to Fir Park, or even, and that's where we might not win as many trophies as Celtic and Rangers. But one of the great things is, it'll be a hell of a lot easier for us to socially distance. The first step back after closed doors, it'll be easier for us to socially distance. I actually feel a lot of sympathy. Celtic and Rangers fans who immediately buy up, they snap up their season ticket. That, as we were talking about last week in the show, Celtic have got 60,000 season ticket holders, Rangers 52,000, whatever it is. They're not going to be allowed that number inside the stadium when fans are allowed back in. So these fans face, the fear. It will be of a ballot. It will be like the fans normally for European games, particularly away trips in Europe, where it's almost like names in a hat, or only one supporters bus gets 5 tickets maybe, and it's a luck of the draw. At Motherwell, or any of the so-called wee diddy teams, I think the capacity at Fir Park, I think, is a wee bit either end of 14,000. So let's say that if it was one of the 70% of your games, let's say it was Motherwell against St Mirren, I'll use that as an example. Motherwell against St Mirren, I guess the crowd in recent years has been 5,500. So I'm guessing that would be a third, there or thereabouts of capacity. I'm guessing we could socially distance a 5,500 crowd if we thought about it, or maybe a push, maybe get it down to 4,000. So that could be great. I could get back there. I wouldn't be sitting maybe directly back with my pals. We would maybe be, 4 or 5 seats between us all, a gap. I would accept that, but I'm really, really fantasising about A, getting the game back in August the 1st, B, the next stage, getting some fans into the stadium, and then ultimately the vaccine, and everybody able to get in there. Shake hands with your pal that you've not been able to shake hands with for however long it'll end up being, a year or whatever, So I can't wait for that day.